So we are locked into very complex systems that involve polluting technologies today. So for example, the automobile, the privately owned vehicle, is a technology which releases a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere, but it's sort of embedded within other complex structures like users or people's travel patterns, where they live, where they work, where they do their hobbies, and it resolves a problem for them. The car is also linked to policies, legislation, and things that the government are involved in, physical infrastructures like the roads and the road networks, and also industries and their structures. In order to shift from one system which is polluting to something which is much greener and clean, we need change across all of those areas. The real problem, as we see, is the complexity in this system. We've looked into two innovations that are receiving a lot of attention today. One is electrified roads, which is about the supply of electrical power to heavy goods vehicles. This allows them to travel long distances using electricity rather than fossil fuels. The other is mobility as a service, which aims to revolutionize passenger transportation by combining different transport services into one package. So things like buses, taxis, carpools, bicycle pools, and so on, made available through a single smartphone application that will allow people to book and pay for their travel and perhaps replace privately owned cars. In both of these cases, so electrified roads and mobility as a service, we know that new business models are critical for a transition to occur. So our research is focused on the theoretical aspects of this, taking existing theoretical frameworks and inserting this concept of business model innovation to understand how change can come about. And this has allowed us to do more practical research as well. So we've tried to understand what the barriers are to business model innovation and how they can be resolved by politicians, by government, but also by the private sector. So we found that business models have a slightly different role to play depending on the transition or the shift in question. In the case of electrified roads, the role of the business model is to help to commercialize this new technology, whereas in mobility as a service, the business model is the innovation itself. It's a way of reorganizing the way that we produce and consume transport. So business models are a powerful mechanism for change. However, they're sometimes overlooked. We sometimes have too much focus on new technology, both within the public and the private sector. So we should give more attention to business model innovation as a way of bringing about sustainable change.